On Saturday, we saw yet again another mass shooting, this time committed by Mauricio Garcia within a Texas mall. Now, the way the media is trying to spin this story is incredibly interesting to me, especially comparing it to the likes of one such as the Nashville shooting that happened not too long ago. And some of the Texas legislation that has been pushed since this happened is also incredibly surprising. So right away, I want to talk about what the media is pushing as a motive. This story is everywhere. Why is it? Because they are trying to push that this guy was a white supremacist neo-Nazi. You can see right here that feds are scanning his social media, which are showing white supremacy and neo-Nazism, right? So they're trying to find a motive. But yeah, that makes sense, right? White supremacy. From a guy named Mauricio Garcia. When I hear a name like Garcia, I immediately think white supremacy. Does that make sense? That makes perfect sense. People are so incredibly retarded. Whoever heard Mauricio Garcia and thought white supremacist is absolutely crazy. And this story is being pushed, it's being fed down everyone's throats. Every news article that I've come across talking about this has mentioned that, yeah, this guy was a white supremacist, he was a Nazi. Um, of course, they haven't actually shown the social media accounts, so we don't get to think for ourselves. And I tried to do some digging, I tried to find them, but I couldn't find anything that connected back to him. There was one journalist who claimed to have found his social media where they claimed that he had posts like these. You can see the swastika, um, and then some other Nazi symbols over here, and then you can see the Dallas logo down here on his hands. However, the journalist who posted this, which this has been making its rounds all over social media, people are posting it, being like, "Ah, see, look, he was a neo-Nazi white supremacist, right?" But if you actually look at this guy's tweet, quote, I haven't checked if this is actually him in the picture. I just assume he just posted it because he's a big swastika slash SS fan. And he has them all over the rest of his profile. So yeah, we don't know if this is even him. We have no idea who this guy is. This guy found a some random social media account and just assumed it was him. Now, it might be him, maybe, I guess, because look, they do share the same name. Mauricio Garcia. Same people, right? But if you actually go into this social media and look at his face, it is different from every other image I've seen of him so far. I'm not actually going to show you guys an image because I've seen like five different ones, and all of them look different from the one from the actual shooting. I, of course, can't show you that one because he got shot, blood everywhere, way too graphic. Can't show that on YouTube. So yeah, I can't. I unfortunately can't show you the only actual image of his face that we know for sure is him. But I can say it does not look like the guy who posted these posts on his social media. I guess I don't know about these ones, but I know about this one for sure. And then we, and then there's some other images floating around of him, or that they claim to be of him. But it also just doesn't look the same. None of them match up, so I'm not even gonna try to show you one because I don't want to be wrong about that. I don't want to push some random guy's face and say, "Hey, look at this guy. He's clearly a shooter," because we really have no idea. And then another interesting thing, this guy, he works for Bellingcat. That is funded by the WEF, the World Economic Forum. So yeah, that's just great. There's nobody I trust more than the World Economic Forum, of course. So I'm sure this guy is really pushing true stories. I'm sure none of that is any form of propaganda. They're also saying that he had this patch that had the acronym RWDS on it. They're claiming this stands for Right Wing Death Squad. The only place I can find that is the Urban Dictionary. So, yeah, maybe, maybe not. I have no idea. I have no real reason to believe that's actually true as of right now. So, who knows? Uh, so, from what we have so far, this guy might be a neo-Nazi. We personally don't have much of a reason to think that because we don't have any photos of him that are confirmed to be him, or we haven't seen anything from him that gives us any reason to believe he was a neo-Nazi. He's claimed to be a white supremacist. but his name is Mauricio Garcia, so I have my questions about that. Uh, he claims to be part of the right wing death squad. Never heard of that before until today, but yeah, that's just on the Urban Dictionary. So now you're all caught up. You know what's going on. The story is a mess. Now let's compare this to something like the Nashville shooting. What do we have there? Trans individual targets a Christian school, has a manifesto. To this day, we still have not seen the manifesto. It still has not been released to the public. It is not a hate crime as of right now. It was at no point reported as a hate crime. We weren't even really allowed to question whether it was a hate crime or not. That wasn't even something that was pushed at all in the mainstream. Even though there was clear reason to think it very well possibly could have been. It actually makes sense. And they had a manifesto, which they are refusing to release to the public. And right in this story, we have a guy. His name is Garcia, who they are saying, clearly, this was a hate crime by a white supremacist. Again, Garcia. And who did he shoot? A bunch of white people. Because you know what white supremacists are famous for? One, not being white, and two, shooting and targeting white people. I don't even think that he targeted white people. I think if I had to take a bet, I'd say this was a guy with mental illness, right? A guy with some kind of mental disability or something, somebody who is seriously struggling in life, because that is becoming incredibly common in today's Western world with the complete lack of purpose in the average person. That would be my guess for motivation. That's just the most obvious one, right? But they won't report it like that. They're going to report it as if this was just a targeted shooting. No, this was probably a guy who broke because of how society is functioning today, the lack of community and the isolation that is far too common, right? He snaps and he went and shot a bunch of people indiscriminately, if I had to take a guess. I don't think this was a hate crime. There isn't much reason to believe it was. Maybe he was a neo-Nazi. Maybe not. I mean, it's fine, I guess. I don't care. I don't care at all, to be honest, if he's a neo-Nazi. I'm not a supporter of neo-Nazis, and that's not even a right-wing thing. There's nothing right-wing about being a national socialist. So retarded. People are so stupid. So, maybe he was a neo-Nazi, maybe not. I don't know. I really doubt he was a white supremacist because, again, Mauricio Garcia. So, probably not a white supremacist. Um, And maybe he was part of this right wing death squad thing that no one has ever heard of before and is only in the Urban Dictionary. But yeah, this wasn't a problem with, geez, people are just so hateful. These dang MAGA Trump supporters. No, this was a problem with isolation and mental illness being so pushed onto society. So many people are mentally ill, right? We live in a country now where people just are chopping off their genitals, they are mutilating themselves. We mutilate children. We support all forms of degeneracy. We push literal porn books in school. I mean, I'm sure most of us have seen that at this point. If you go to a middle or a high school, I'm sure you've picked up a book at some point and opened it up and being like, oh my gosh, why is this in this school? No, I have multiple times. I'm in Colorado, so that type of thing's pretty common here. But I mean, all across the country, we see that. We see it in these like uh, parent, I don't know, school council meetings or whatever you want to call them. I don't really know. But we see parents go up and read from these books all the time, and they get shut down for how grotesque they are. We have this pushed into our schools. Our country is dead. It is decaying. Mental illness is everywhere. And instead of focusing on the problem, you know what they do? They try to take away guns. They want to take away the rights from your average citizen. They want to dehumanize people, right? They're trying to dehumanize you as a MAGA, as a conservative supporter. They want to make you look like a monster by putting you in the same group as people like this guy who went and murdered in cold blood a bunch of innocent people. That's the thing that pisses me off the most about all these people. They're not even revolutionaries. Even if this guy was like maybe he was some right wing guy tired of the system and he went to go, fight back. He didn't even fight back against anything. He went and murdered a bunch of innocent people. that had no real tie to the system, and they were just like a herd of it. He went and murdered a bunch of pawns at most, not even. He did nothing. All he did was hurt his own cause. He didn't go and take it to the leaders, right? He didn't actually do anything. He didn't accomplish anything. He just made his movement look stupid. And at the same time, he took away the lives of innocent people. Not even a revolutionary. Which I'm not supporting violence, to be very clear. I am in no way saying, hey, guys, we need to lead a revolution. We need to go after the guys on top. No. But why go after innocent people? I don't understand what goes through these people's brains to think this is how I'm going to solve. This is how I'm going to solve the problem. This is how I'm going to make my country better. These people are just such a net negative. They are cancers to our society. But we are breeding them in masses with mental illness. We are pushing it as early as an age as possible. We put all these people on what? Antidepressant pills, make it so they can't feel anything from a young age. We convince them that they need ADHD medicine. Your brain doesn't work right. Get on all these medications. It's all in an imbalance. Bullshit. No, no. We didn't have these problems 100 years ago. It's not because we have all these chemical imbalances. It's for a mixture of reasons. One, because of the media we take in. It's awful for us. It's two, because of all this isolation. Three, I'm sure it's because of food we eat. I mean, it just is pumping us full of poison, literal poison. In America, they can put whatever they want in your food and you just eat it. Because, I mean, what else are you going to do? What are you going to go starve to death? Or you have to go hunt for every single meal, which really isn't possible for the majority of us. Yeah. And that's the point we are in today's society. And then they're going to go and blend the guns and they're going to try to take our rights away. And they're already doing it in Texas right now. A bill to push the age limit for when you can buy an assault weapon, whatever that means. Uh, it's getting pushed through legislation. I believe it passed the state senate right now, right? I believe that's what it was. Forgive me if I was wrong. It might have been the House, but I'm pretty confident it was the Senate, and it's gonna push back the age from 18 to 21. But I mean, that's not gonna go all the way through because of the governor there, and that it won't get through the House if it was the Senate. I think it was. Again, forgive me if I was wrong, but yeah, that won't get through, but I mean, it is interesting. They got two Republicans to vote on it, and that was enough to swing the vote. I think the vote was like 8-5 or something like that. So, yeah, those two votes are the difference makers. So, even Republicans are starting to get brainwashed by this propaganda. We need to get those rhinos out. We need to, clear the swamp. Ah. Yeah, this has turned into a little bit of a demoralizing video. If you want to be moralized, go watch my last one from yesterday because I mean, polls are looking good. Trump's gonna get back in office in 2024 if these are right. I mean, it looks like he's gonna win in a landslide. So you know what? There's something to be positive about. We need to stay eternally white-pilled, or we're not gonna be able to actually fight against anything because when you break down, how are you even gonna fight? But yeah, it's bad. It's bad out here. Mental illness, it's everywhere. We're all suffering from it. Literally, you and me. We are all just like eternally online. Right? It's awful. It's awful. We are all so isolated. Go to school and just look around at the people. Everyone, like, even when you're with your friends, like, half of them are still just sitting on their phones the whole time. They're not even interacting with each other. They isolate themselves when they're in the group. That's the point we have gotten into today's world. So that's great. It's so awesome. It's so awesome how everything is falling apart in front of us. And this is a result. You see all these shootings, and then they try to blame it on white supremacy, which I'm not supporting, by the way. I'm not trying to defend white supremacy. But it wasn't white supremacy. I mean, there's no reason to actually believe that. They try to blame it on what? Right wingers, these MAGA guys. People who are actually trying to make change, trying to help the country, because of course they do, because they just want to dehumanize us so that we can't actually fix anything, so we can't make anything better. And then all the sheep are going to go along with it, and then that's how you get 4 more years of Joe frickin' frackin' Biden. So that'll be absolutely great. Absolutely spectacular. I'm so excited, so excited. But hey, you know what? Trump's gonna come back. He's gonna win it. I have faith. Why do I? I don't really know. But I try to stay positive, and you should too. So yeah, stay on that positive train. Go watch, like I said, watch my video from yesterday. That's positive. It's gonna get you pumped up. It's gonna get you moralized. Hoorah, baby. We're gonna stay in this fight. We got this. Even if our country's falling down around us, we are going to keep pushing through, and we're all gonna make it. We're all gonna make it because we have something different in us, you and I. Yeah, you feel it. You feel it, you know? You're destined for something great. You know you are. And it's very epic. So keep pushing and don't get demoralized because I want to stop you from reaching those very epic goals of yours. Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, I'm gonna wrap up this video though on that note. It's been a little bit of a longer one. So, you know what? If you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, because I mean, I'd have to imagine you enjoyed at least something. But the only way we are going to take back this country is together. So, yeah, join the fight. Like I said, I am heading out. So long. Peace out, and God bless y'all.